Well, welcome everyone to Big J's World, where we talk about anything and everything. Today we have Jenni. She's a big book talker, right?
Sure. Yeah, book talker.
Yeah.
Book talker, book lover.
Probably seen one of the largest book collections I've seen in back of your videos.
You haven't seen anything in the back of my videos. Truthfully, there is a lot. Like, this is just my one shelf in the living room. That's my favorites. And then there's 3 shelves in my bedroom and 3 in my spare room and stacks on the floor.
So she has her own library at home.
I'm working on it. I definitely have the library in terms of collection of books, but in terms of like set aside space, that's been like a project I've started 2 years ago. I bought the shelves to go in another room where I was supposed to build them in, and then ask me if I've built them in yet. Not yet.
So how many books do you actually own? Well, own currently?
Well, let's see. I can tell you exactly. Hold on. I want to say it's over 1,500 for sure. Of those, like 1,300 are unread. Let's see. Libib. I haven't scanned the books that I bought this week, I don't think. I have 1,589. And what's crazy is, yeah, I started collecting them like 2 years and 2 months ago. So all those have occurred pretty quickly.
I mean, I get yelled at when my wife tells me I have too many books.
Yeah.
The world is behind me. I have like a good set, but
yeah, I haven't got yelled at yet, but I feel like it might be coming as that. Like, the stacks will start taking over the space. I'm like, okay, we got to organize the shelves and make them all fit on the shelves. So if I can keep them off the floor mostly, then it's like, oh, they're not taking over our house. They're taking over the house. They're definitely taking over. But my son and his dad started collecting trading cards recently. And so the way that they've been collecting those,
right.
I'm like, see, now you get it.
It's only fair, you know?
Right. Everyone's got their own thing. I'm like, to be fair, mine cost less because I thrift, but theirs take up less space.
True. You know, they may have, how many binders do they have?
Well, they just started collecting, I would say in the last 3 months. There's probably 3 or 4 binders, but there's also like a case and some strays that are stacked up. It's a new hobby. They just got the case like 2 weeks ago for like their graded cards to be protected, but it could get out of hand pretty quickly. I'm telling you, every day there's probably at least 7 cards in my mailbox.
Is it
direct
Pokemon
purchase
cards or?
No, they do like the sports cards, like Tops and stuff. My son does collect Pokemon. He doesn't play. He wants to, but his dad's not into that. They do like Tops basketball mostly, but they've got baseball. They've got Star Wars. They've got Disney, Pixar, whatever. They're just hot on like the card collecting thing right now.
Right.
That's not my jam, but good for them.
Right. So your TikTok, your handle is Jenni Thrifty Reads.
Yes.
So do you only do thrifting books, or do you go to like big like national chain stores and buy books? Or
I kind of got addicted to thrifting, which is its own separate hobby. But in like 2020, we'll say, I picked up reading a little bit more. I'm more of an audiobook girly. I've always kind of been like a podcast girl, and I would get mad. I would podcast all day doing house projects, running around, and then I would get mad when I run out of episodes. So I switched over to audiobooks. One of my best friends has always been an audiobook girl since like cassettes. And she's like, no, I'm telling you, you got to be an audiobook girl. So she put me onto a couple titles because we have similar tastes. And then I became an audiobook girl. In 2023, my neighbor, who's also a book girly, we stumbled upon a Buy Nothing. I don't know if you have Buy Nothing up there, but it's like a buy sell trade group where everybody puts things for free.
Oh, okay.
There was a Buy Nothing girl who was downsizing her 1-car garage that was a library and was like, come get these books. So we went to her house, and her collection was outstanding. And we ended up taking home the majority of her collection. We took home like 600 books.
Wow.
And we were like, oh, we can have a library. So that was the beginning of collecting books of like, we want a library together. And I found myself going to the thrift store like within that same month we got those books, and I was just wandering in, bored one day. I actually did build my son's book library as a toddler, so I kind of already had that in me to like go get books there. But I walked in one day, this was October 2023, and they had ACOTAR or Court of Thorns and Roses on the shelf, which I'd already read. But I've always just kind of blown past the book section aside from the children's books, thinking that it's all like, you know, old Bibles, old cookbooks, Danielle Steele's, nothing I wanted there. And I saw the ACOTAR are bright. So I saw them on the shelf and was like, hold up. We got like the hot and now on the shelf here. And I'd already started like, we're going to have a library. We've got these 600 books. And I saw the ACOTAR there and they were $1. What was their pricing then? It was $1.69 a piece and they were in perfect condition. And I was like, oh, I just got like the first 3 books for like less than $7. So now I was hooked. So 2 days later, I'm driving by, it's close to my grocery store. And I'm like, let's just pop in really quick. Like all you could do is walk in, look at the books, takes less than 10 minutes, walk out, finding more and more hot books. So that happened from like October to February. I made my first book talk like February of 20. Actually, it's almost my anniversary, February 1st, I think, of 2024. And I just wanted to show off the books that I found at the thrift store that day because I found bangers. Like I found ones that I had seen in other book socials on other like Facebook. I was in some big groups there for readers. And I was like, you can't believe this. Like I got all these books that you crazy hussies love to read. And I got them all for $1.50 a piece. And I just made a video. Like my son was at extracurriculars. Like it was no production involved. I was sitting at this coffee table that I'm sitting at right now. Like just like soccer mom looking trash. I was like, hey, let me show you these books I got today. And then I was kind of hooked because I followed maybe a handful of book talkers. Just a handful that I had like saved like some recommendation, like faceless posts before. And I'm like, I didn't even know there are other thrifty accounts, which there are a ton of other thrifty book talkers, but I just shared it. And then that was the beginning of me making thrifting my entire personality and like a social media thing. Although now approaching 2 years, I feel like 2 years of sharing a thrift haul almost every week is how my book collection got crazy.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've got to pivot at some point because I'm going to run out of house if I have a thrift haul every week or figure out a way to incorporate it. But yeah, it's been one of the best things that's happened to me. Just to, like turn on my camera and say, hey, look at these treasures I found. I don't feel like I'll ever change my name from Jenni's Thrifty Reads, but I don't know that I'll always have endless thrift hauls. I'll just have to figure out other ways to incorporate the thrifting. But at this rate, like thrifting is the therapy where it's just like, let me pop in and see what I can find. And I found other things other than books there while walking through that have just been like, the more you go, the more stuff you find. Like it's, I've gotten, I mean, again, I have like 1,500 books and almost all of them, I would say 90% of them are thrifted books. I do go to big box stores, but I have a hard time splurging for a $20 book when I know I can find it for $2 if I'm patient. And at this rate, because I have a large collection, I know my cats are going to ruin my lighting right now. I know because I have a large collection, like nothing is a priority. Like I don't have to go buy that $25 book that is a new release because I have these other billion that I need to read. So I can be patient. A lot of times if there's like a favorite author that comes out, like I know I'm going to want to read their new release. I will a lot of times borrow it on audio from the library and just wait for my physical trophy to find me at the thrift store. And so that's my way of getting in the new releases without spending the new release money.
Okay.
If I'm traveling or visiting a new place, I'll give independent bookstores money for a new book. I feel much better about that, but that's about it.
So when thrifting, what do you look for? Are you just looking for the price? Are you looking for condition? Are you looking for both? Or
when I'm thrifting now at this rate, before it was just author recognition, and it still is for the most part. I scan the spines first. I'm just looking for a book I recognize or an author I recognize. And now because I have all of these bookish friends, I'm looking for books for them too. And the more that you're exposed to books in the bookish community, the more recognition you have, good and bad, which is another reason why that collection got crazy. I was mostly a thriller girl. And now I'm like all the things. Right. I look for recognition first and then I'll pull it out. I will say in the earlier days, I had a lot worse condition books because I'm thinking I'm never going to find it again. I got to get it now. And then I end up seeing it 40 more times in better condition. So I'll pull it out. If it's something I really want and it's like mediocre condition, I'll get it and trade it up later on. But just recognition mostly. It's got to be in good condition. I'm patient now at this rate. I always say crispy. Like the word that everybody makes fun of me for saying so much is crispy. I'm like, this is a crispy copy. Like this thing is brand new. That's my jam. If I could find an absolutely almost an unread condition book that's newer, the high is unmatched.
Right.
The high is unmatched. But I also look now for a couple of my friends collect. Like one of my friends collects Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn, which has been printed a million times over the decades. Mm-hmm. So it's fun to find like really, really, really old copies of stuff like that someone's protected for a long time and probably someone's Meemaw has passed away and they've donated her stuff. That's a good find too.
Now, controversial question.
Yeah.
Cracked spine or non-cracked spine?
Oh, non-cracked.
Are
you a cracker?
No. I did that.
A man of reason. I
did that once. Too. I'm a big Frida reader. I have like a collection of them, but I did that once to one of her books, and I felt
and cried.
So awful. Like, why did I do this?
Right. Some of the versions are more likely to crack, like just the way that they're printed or bound, or even like the really thick paperbacks. I've seen people train their books online where they open like each end at a time and fold each page down to get it so that it won't crack. I'm not that dedicated. A singular crack, not that big of a deal. Don't want it, but I can forgive myself. But there are people out there that immediately crack because it feels better to them. No. Or like even bending the front cover back, which sometimes that, like I'm holding it and I'm like, that would be convenient, but it never goes back the way it's supposed to.
No, I'm holding my book with my fingers cradled to the spine and just making sure.
Yeah.
Like, no, I
Are you a paperback or a hardback person?
I love hardcover books, but most of readers are paperbacks. I'm like, well, except
she's got a couple hardbacks that are like book of the month versions. Mm-hmm. But I feel like they usually go straight to paperback for her.
Yeah, straight to paperback.
She cranks books out. Like, she's got like 3 a year coming out.
Dear Debbie just came out. She has a divorce coming out soon.
Right. Dear Debbie was like last week, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And every time came out a couple months ago.
Yeah, every time I'm looking at the new releases, especially like in my Goodreads giveaways, it'll show like what's coming soon. I'm like, good God, woman, what are you eating dinner? She is just pounding away at the keyboard. Mm-hmm. She's killing it. There's a few authors like that where I'm like, how you got all that in your brain? Like she probably can't even get it out as fast as it's coming in, to be honest.
No, absolutely not.
Amazing.
It's the same thing with Stephen King. He says he writes 6 pages a day.
Oh yeah, look at this. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. My Stephen Kings are in here. Let's see. Can you see those? No. Yeah, all of these 2 shelves, well, you can't see the bottom one, are Stephen King.
I own 2. I just sold back 1.
Did you?
Yeah, it was Salem's Lot. I was like, no, I can't. Did
you read it?
I read half of it and just sold it.
Was it for you? I've heard it starts really slow, but then I've heard a lot of people really love it by the time they get to the end of it. But there's so many, I don't know when I'm going to get to Salem's Lot, but it's got a following.
Holly's a good book. I don't know if you read that one.
I have Holly. I haven't read it yet, but I want to read the books in order. Like apparently Holly starts in Mr. Mercedes, I think. Yeah. Have you read that one?
No, I had 3 of them. I sold them because I was not. I don't. His writing
not for you.
His writing
has a lot of words.
He does.
Like, why does your book need to be 1,000 pages?
It doesn't.
He is, so I read my first Stephen King when I was in middle school. My mom had a collection of them. I probably shouldn't have read it in middle school, but the 90s were a different time.
Right.
We watched whatever we wanted or whatever was on the TV, and we read whatever was at the house. So I read The Shining, and I want to say I started another one. And I remember thinking, he's like describing in all these words, like the way the carpet looks. You know what I mean? Like, why do we need 10 words about the way the carpet looks? And some people love that. Some people love you to paint them a picture eloquently. But he's one of those people that's got a lot. I remember trying to start reading Lord of the Rings in high school as well, too. And I still haven't read it. But the same thing was like on the first page, I felt like I was in a poem about the way that the world looked before I even knew what was happening. I'm like, let's get to it. I can tolerate it a little better now because evolving as a reader and as a person, but sometimes I can't do it. Like sometimes you just gotta, let's just get to the business. Tell me what's happening. Don't tell me that it looks like the sky was, as velvet as a pea. You know what I mean? Like, okay, it was pink.
The sky is blue.
Right.
The sky is blue.
Right.
I read, I don't know if you read Fairy Tale.
I haven't.
It's a good book. It's a fantasy. I would call it a fantasy more of a
yeah.
book.
Yeah, I've heard it's fantasy.
That book got me stuck with it from beginning to end, even though he had like chapters and chapters of like, all right, I don't even know this. Let's get to the end. Come on.
Yeah. I try to read, I think I'm going to try to read like 1 or 2 of his a year just because he has like 80. He has some crazy amount. Last year I read Misery, which was really good. And it's one of his shorter books.
I love
Did you read it?
Watched the movie.
Okay.
Tried to. The book is, well, the first couple of chapters I read was like, this wasn't in the movie.
Yes. So I watched the movie, as a kid. I don't really remember it. I just remember like visuals of Kathy Bates. But last year I was like, I'm going to read Misery because I want to read one of my Stephen Kings. It's kind of crazy to have all these books and not read them. So let me pick up a Stephen King. And I went for the shorter one. I went for Misery during spooky season. And I read the book first. I do a lot of audio. So I did immersive where I listened to the audio and read the book at the same time. And read the book and then watched the movie the next day. And the book is better. The book always is, but part of it was, it's an older movie, but she is extra twisted in the book. I would recommend trying it again with like audio and the book. Like it was, your girl was, Annie Wilkes was not playing and she was sick. She was sick in the head. I feel like they built up in the book better her past, like all the things that she did before. When it was kind of like a blip in the movie of him just flipping through the book, it builds up more like this girl is like a angel of death type deal. She's been taking people out for a while. I'm
gonna try that book again.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't.
I feel like it's less daunting when you have the audio and the physical together. That's a lot of the ways that I tackle. I have to tackle fantasy that way because a lot of them are chonkers and the names are crazy. The places are crazy. I'm never going to say the name wrong. If I'm doing the audio, someone's telling me how to say it and it helps piece it together for me. I just did Alchemized. I don't know if you've heard of Alchemized or not.
I have not. It's
a dark fantasy. It was originally a fanfic on AO3 maybe. It was originally a fanfic, a Harry Potter fanfic that went like mega viral, and the author got a trad publishing deal, so that she had to take away all of the Harry Potter out of it because that's not hers.
No.
And like remade the magic system, remade the characters, and it was hard for me to do it. I tried to start it on audio, but I just couldn't. I need to see the words to help mark them as like pins in my mind with magic systems and such. And there was a lot of similar powers where they all ended in the same antsy. I'm like, okay, which one was this? Which one was that? For me, for fantasy, I have to have both, I think, for it to work. Like I try to do just audio and I try to do just book. And for fantasy, when I'm just doing this, like my brain's gone. I'm like, okay, what are we doing? But when I put them together, I'm in there. I love it. The adventure's there. It's crazy. Yep. I don't know why it's like that for me, but that's just how my brain works, I guess.
Same way. I'm on, I don't know if you read Fourth Wing. Have you read Fourth Wing?
Oh, loved it. It was part of I think it was part of what pushed me to do book talk. And I got Fourth Wing. Like it was random. Like I knew it was popular, but I knew nothing about it. I thought maybe it was fantasy because there's a dragon on it. That's literally all I knew. and just happened to be on my library app at like 2 a.m.
Right.
And they just added titles at that time. And it was like a week before Iron Flame came out. So I saw that Iron Flame got added, coming soon, but my library already acquired copies. So I put it on hold. I was first in line for my library. Magically, like a week before it came out. That's unheard of. And they bought held a bunch of copies of Fourth Wing. So it was available now. So I got it, listened to it, blown away. Loved it. Obsessed. Like, I'm like, okay, maybe I am a fantasy girly. I had already done ACOTAR and like graphic audio, but I was like, this is way better than ACOTAR. This is it. And I could do that. I could do that without the book. But doing it, I reread them before Onyx Storm came out last January, and I kind of did both with, physical, and it's so good. The third book, not a fan. Not a fan. Good, felt rushed.
At the end, I was like, why? Don't finish the page and not continue it to the next side.
Right. Your girl is like basically telling you you're getting a cliffhanger every time.
Yeah.
Because at the end of Iron Flame, cliffhanger. And I was at the end of Iron Flame, I went on TikTok. I remember doing I think it might still be on my page. I remember doing like what's your dragon filter or something on TikTok. And I had not been posting them. There was like 4 videos. Like I was a scroller account.
Right.
There might've been like 4, like, oh, I'm going to make a travel video because I know I can edit it in the TikTok app type deal. But I did that, left it posted and got a bunch of views. And then that put me on like Fourth Wing algorithm. And I was like, oh, we got theories. We got all this stuff. I'm like, I need to get into book talk. So that was November 2023. And that was the beginning of me like recognizing more books. And then 3 months later, I'm like, let me post a video. But yeah, the third book. Here's what I didn't like. I didn't like all of a sudden in like the last third of the book, maybe the last quarter, we had a special guest. In the last quarter was all the new POVs. Because for 3 books, or the majority of 3 books, we've just got Xaden and Violet.
Yep.
And now we're just going to throw in these other people. It threw me. I'm going to see where we're going, obviously, but it threw me. And I mean, obviously the ending of like where the direction it's heading, you want that to be for the main characters. But I just feel like it was done as obviously a gimmick for something that we don't know yet. But like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to reread again. I reread for this last one. I'm just going to like Google the plot points to like touch up.
Right. I didn't reread for this last one. I mean, I did when Iron Flame came out. I read them back to back to see what the whole hype is about. Loved Fourth Wing. Iron Flame was insufferable.
Oh my God. No, I loved Iron Flame. See, there's such a big Iron Flame hate train. There's a big one. A lot of people hate it. I loved Iron Flame.
It's because I'm stuck in the middle of Iron Flame should have just been retitled Xaden versus Violet throughout the whole book.
Sure.
It was just their relationship, their arguments, it was just get me through this.
What I loved about Iron Flame, although it did feel like 2 separate books, like the whole I don't want to spoil, like the whole, before they end up together again.
Right.
That's like one book, but the ending where, we're climax and it's a battle and everything, the emotional impact of the family stuff that happens at the end is what like sealed it for me. I was like, oh my God, you got me crying. Anytime you have a parental moment or anything like that in a book, it usually pushes me over the edge and I'm like, 5 stars. It's a 5-star. You got me. Yeah, that's where I think it got me on that book. But honestly, when I reread them last January, so that put me a year since the last time I read it, 14 months, I thought it was just as good.
Yeah.
Just as good.
I mean, all of them is good in their own different way. Like, the third one took me for a ride. They actually left the college. We're going to all to these different lands and stuff, which I enjoyed because it's like, oh, okay, now it's a
change of scenery, bigger world, building and everything. But right. I did say after Iron Flame, I was like, we got to wait over a year for the next one.
Seriously.
And then when I finished Onyx Storm, I didn't feel like I'm getting robbed if she makes me wait a long time. I'm like, girl, take your time. Perfection takes time. Don't rush for us. Don't rush for the check. Like, just.
No, I need to know those, what was it, 8, 16 hours? How many hours she was unconscious for?
Yeah. Knocked out. Yeah.
Yeah. I need to know what happened.
I need her to take her time, but don't take your time in the way that some authors have left their fandoms hanging for like decades.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that. Don't take your time on like Stranger Things time. Like, don't take a $5. Max, let's do 2. We'll give you 2 years, not a $5, please.
No,
thank you.
No.
I've moved on to new things. Like, this is another reason why I don't watch as much TV anymore, I think, and why it's been so easy to make books. My entire personality is the break that they force on us between seasons. By the time y'all come back around, I'm not interested anymore.
Right.
Like, you got a hot 18 months, 2 years max, and then they're putting like 3 and 4 years between some seasons sometimes. I don't care anymore.
No,
I don't care anymore. When I grew up, y'all could crank out stuff. Mm-hmm. We had new shows September through May every year, you know?
Yeah.
Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Let's get these shows going.
So I see in your videos when you post in the morning, coffee.
Mm-hmm.
How do you take your coffee? Which is the best coffee to have with your morning read?
So I am a diehard cold brew girly. Mm-hmm. I've always been a coffee person. Like, as a child, I was a coffee person. Like, I loved coffee flavor. Did my parents let me drink it? No, but I was like, let's go get a Jamocha shake from Arby's. Let's get some coffee flavored ice cream. I'll sneak it in where I can as a kid. Mm-hmm. I switched to cold brew, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago. I would just buy like the store-bought cold brew because it was smoother and less acidic. Here's my old people problems. I would get heartburn really bad from drinking hot coffee every day, which hurt my soul because your girl needs her coffee. And I just switched to cold brew. I've always been like an iced coffee girl when like out and about. Like, I don't want a hot coffee when I leave the house. I need a little something to shake around.
Right.
But I've been drinking like an unsweetened cold brew. I do splash in a little like almond vanilla creamer. It's so not fancy. Like, I don't handcraft anything. It's all like out of the bottle into my cup, but it gets the job done. I have all the things to do all the fancy things, but I don't master them. I'm really good about, this is going to be my personality. Let's get all the supplies to be this new hobby and then never follow through. Like, I've got a whole cold brew system. I could if I can't get my own cold brew that I make myself to taste like Stoke, then I don't want it because Stoke is so smooth and delicious. Stoke, sponsor me.
So when you're not making coffee at home and you're on the run from kids out,
what am I getting?
Are you, around here? I don't know if you have Dunkin', Starbucks, or
we have. Oh, you guys, you're in Dunkin' land up there, aren't you?
Yeah. Starbucks has been popping up all over the place now. Well, primarily it's Dunkin' over here, but.
Are you a Dunks loyalist?
Depends.
Be a contrarian. Don't do what the rest of they're doing over there.
So when I'm at work, all around work, there's only one Dunkin' and the rest is Starbucks, especially inside of work. So I go to Starbucks.
Right. Convenience.
Yeah. Because I don't want to go outside.
Right. It's cold. It's more work.
Yeah. If I get a coffee, if it's the last choice, I'll go to Dunkin'.
Got you. That's how I feel about Dunkin's. So what we have here, we've got a ton of Starbucks, obviously. That's how Starbucks has us. Like, most people agree Starbucks isn't the best flavored coffee in the world. It's not whatever. But it's everywhere. And like, I've got the app, and it's always like the easiest gift that people give you is a Starbucks gift card because they know they're available everywhere. And I think that's how I get locked into going to Starbucks is like, I've got a credit because I got like, you know, a Mother's Day card, or like people just give you Starbucks gift cards.
Yeah.
I won't go to Starbucks out of convenience because I can order on the app and pick it up. My favorite is to go to small places. Like, there's a little local chain here called Lodi that is amazing. Like, the first sip, you know, man, I'm on a camera. The first sip, you know, is like caffeine. Like, it is delicious and amazing, but they're not convenient to get to. My new jam is Dutch Brothers. Do you guys have Dutch Brothers up there?
No, but I want to open up a Dutch Bros up here. Dutch Bros, and I want them to bring a Timmy T's over here.
Oh, I've not heard of Timmy T's.
No, Timmy Hortons.
Oh, Tim Hortons. Well, you might get a Tim Hortons. You're close to Canada.
Yeah.
They sprinkle a little bit down.
I mean, the closest Tim Hortons to us is down in Pennsylvania.
Really? So, yeah, there's no reason why you can't get a Tim Hortons. We just needed somebody to, what's the word I'm looking for? It's gone. Franchise one. Yeah, that's what you need. Maybe you're the guy to get a Tim Hortons up there. Yeah, so we got Dutch Bros. We got the first one in the state, actually, and it's around the corner from my house. Like, I could walk to it if I wanted to try hard enough. So it's not far. And I love them. They taste delicious. They kind of got a little bit of like a Dunks vibe in terms of presentation and like quickness, but they taste better than Starbucks, in my opinion. They're cheaper than Starbucks, which is a win. Like, you get iced coffee from Dutchies, and I think a iced something at Starbucks is like 16 ounces, I want to say.
Yep.
Dutch Brothers, 24 ounces for an iced medium. That's their medium. And the same price. So I'm getting more. It's delicious, and I'm obsessed. And they're opening like 3 more locations here. So I'm like, you got me.
There's also Seven Brew, which is up in New York.
Yeah. They just opened one here too. And that's got like a huge, like, it's like got a cult following happening now. I see like on socials. I tried them. They opened about 2 or 3 months before our Dutch Bros did. I'm confused at both of them, truly, because their menus are so like scaled back when you pull up, but there's the secret menus, you know? I'm like, I don't know the secret menus. I only know these 4 things you have on this picture. So that's where I get overwhelmed when I tried Seven Brew. I've been there like 3 times maybe total. I'm like, I don't know if I want this like giant sugar thing. Like, can you tell me how to like make up my own funky flavored thing that would fit what I like? I don't know.
Right.
They didn't blow me away like Dutchies did. So, but they also, Dutch Brothers has an app. If you have an app, I'm sure Seven Brew probably does too. If you have an app, I'm in there. Like, they got an app and I can build my stuff, and I'm into it. The only downside of our Dutch Bros is it's in a poor accessible location. Like, the quarter they put it on, it's such a pain to get in and out of, but worth it. I don't move during traffic times, being like someone who gets to stay at home most of the time, so I can wait until traffic dies and then go over there.
Right.
It's not as bad. So highly recommend to get you a Dutch Bros when you find one.
I hope they have all these other things. Like, we just got a Cane's up here. We just got a Dave's Hot Chicken up here.
I haven't had Dave's.
I want a Wawa's. Have you been to Wawa's?
I've been to Wawa. We don't have them here though, but I've been to one.
I want one up here so bad.
They say that the sandwiches at Wawa slap.
Yes. I haven't had one. Whenever I go down to Pennsylvania to visit my dad, me and my wife, first place you stop is at Wawa's. And then
that's like
father.
That's like, so down here, it's not super close, but there's always one in like every direction of any kind of like reasonable road trip, is Buc-ee's. You got to stop at Buc-ee's, even though it's like a train wreck. Like, why would you want to go into somewhere that busy? But you got to, like, you just got to see what it's about. And their food is delicious. It's so good.
The only Buc-ee's I went down to was in South Carolina because my sister moved all the way down there. So went to
on 95.
Yes.
That's about 90 minutes from me.
Really?
2 hours. Yeah. So when that Buc-ee's opened, because that's the closest one to us, I think they're putting another one in South Carolina up 95 somewhere. When that Buc-ee's opened, we took a road trip to it because we were just bored one Sunday. We're like, let's just ride up to Buc-ee's and like go see what they have. But the only other ones that we've been to prior to that is there's 2 down 95 in Florida. So, you know, heading to like Orlando or something down there, you got to stop at Buc-ee's. It's just something to do. Something to do. Listen, they got like 130 gas pumps. You get your gas. They got clean bathrooms. Take a road. You know, buy some souvenirs to stretch your legs. Get some jerky. Get some fudge. Anything you want, they got it.
Yeah,
it's wild.
She was like, "You're down there with your family. You didn't bring me a Buc-ee's sandwich." I'm like, "It's not gonna go well when it comes back up here." Like,
right?
I got you some
People
jerky.
love their brisket. They love their brisket. I'm not a big like meat person. Like I'm not like I don't ever crave like, ooh, I need a brisket. Ooh, that's not me. But the people who are in that life love theirs apparently. Here we've got a bunch of like our convenience stores are all chicken ones. Like we've got one called Parker's Kitchen, but they're really big on like fried chicken. Like people go to Parker's for chicken. I haven't tried their chicken yet, so cannot speak on it. I should take my son. He's like the chicken strip connoisseur. This is perfect. You just gave me a plan. I'm going to be like, listen, I got a new chicken for you to sample. I need you to let me know.
There you go. So going back to your personal library that you have, out of all the books that you read, which book like broke you emotionally? Like there's The Last Letter that I've seen everybody cry over.
That's a good one.
I tried reading it. I couldn't. I'm like, I'm a thriller guy through and through, and I tried to venture out.
You stepped out with Fourth Wing, you know? You gave Rebecca her moment there.
And then there's talking around. That's another thing.
Did we talk about that before? About you reading that? I've talked about that book so many times. That book is...
Yeah.
It's too much. There's not enough hockey in that book.
I'm on my wife.
Let me say there's no hockey.
There is no hockey.
There's a lot of hockey sticks. There is no hockey. Book that broke me. Let's see. I would say The Nightingale really broke me. I was sobbing multiple times in that book. Again, like there's a parental moment, like a pivotal moment in that book where I was like, what? Actually, two parental, not parental, but like parent and child. Like anytime that is affected in any way, I don't know why. I mean, maybe because of my mom, but I've always been super empathetic. I'm a very empathetic person. Like I've always been the person who sobs watching movies because I'm like, I just can't imagine being in their position. The Nightingale, definitely. I mean, The Last Letter, yes. That whole book almost felt like you knew she was like she was almost for her entertainment trying to hurt you. But again, that comes down to a child situation in that book. And I didn't cry the whole book. I'm like, this isn't going to get me. This book isn't going to get me. What's everyone talking about? And then in like the end, she's like, by the way, like, give me that. So yeah, that one's hard. I would say I probably cried the most in The Nightingale, but another book that made me cry that I didn't think that was going to was Betty. Was one of my top reads last year. It's about it's kind of historical fiction, and it starts with this family when this girl's like 5, and I want to say she was in the 50s. She's half Cherokee, half white, and they're super, super poor living in Appalachia. And you just kind of follow their family till she's like 18 or 20 maybe. And their family just has like there's a lot of generational trauma, like in the mom's family. There's a lot of anything terrible that could happen that you can imagine can happen to people within families in terms of abuse and then in that time period of being somebody who's not white, who like the girl, so she was darker than all her siblings because she took after her dad's lineage, and just being like a Cherokee girl in Appalachia in the 50s, and there's trauma there. And but there's a parental relationship. Like her dad was just like the best dad. They didn't have anything in that book. Like they were super poor, but he gave his kids like everything that he had in terms of like lessons and love and stuff like that. And that broke me in that book when you got to the end. Like the worst things happened to this family, but it still leaves you like in a positive note. And it was beautiful. And just, I said the whole time, like, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. And then I was on live on a Friday night, and I was finishing the book on live, and I'm like, I still haven't cried. I don't think I'm going to cry. And then I was on live like, I'm like, okay, you got me. And then I ended up even like tabbing a couple pages at the end. And I'm not someone who tabs or annotates. Like I just want to read. I don't want to do homework, but I was like, I got to remember these lines. These are good. That was a really emotional book.
I don't think I've cried reading a book yet.
Yeah.
I mean,
so again, I said, I've always been like a super empathetic person. Even songs can make me cry, but when it comes to books, I don't cry as much as I do with everything else. Right. But I think with music, you know, I'm one of those people that get like the frisson, like I get like the full body emote with music. And I think maybe I don't cry with books because I'm not getting the visual input. You know, I think it's kind of the same way with horror. Like horror movies scare me more than horror books do. Because I'm getting a visual, like you're getting another way for my brain to process it. And so I don't know if that's what it is. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, but I definitely put myself in the same place as I do in terms of being in the character's position. I just don't cry as much or not as easily in a book. I don't know. But I will say in reading all the books and being in all these different lives that I would never get an opportunity to experience, you know, I definitely learn a lot more about other people than I do, I would say, within watching movies. There's a lot, just like books, there's varied visual media. I shouldn't just say more than I do in movies. I should probably watch more educational things. But even in fiction books, I learn more about myself reading fiction books and like the way that I process my feelings. I've learned so much I've unlocked parts of myself just from reading books where I'm like, I didn't even know I liked that, or I didn't even know that like I felt this way about these issues, and even like other people. Like I get that more, I think, from books than I do from other forms of media. It's crazy. I'm super into it. Books have brought me on a growth journey.
Actually, I have to take that back. There was one book, actually, it got me. Let me see if I have it right here.
Ruined you.
Wow. Almost. Have you read this book yet?
No, and I want to so bad. It just came out this last year. Oh. It's good, right? Everybody says it's amazing.
From beginning to end. Wow. You can't put it down.
Yeah, everybody says it's amazing. Is that one YA?
This one, I think so.
Because her other books are YA.
This is more of a it's more of a, I think it's right. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a thriller. Did you read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder?
No, but it's on my TBR to read, and I started watching a TV show. I'm like, let me just read the book first before I watch the TV show.
I heard the show isn't good. I mean, compared. I mean, they always say that about everything, but I've heard it's like really not similar. But I read her trilogy, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, maybe before Book Talk. I think before Book Talk. And then I read The Reappearance of Rachel Price last year, which is her other book. And I loved both of them. But everybody says that book is a banger.
So good. And in the end, well, towards the end, she has like written letters. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to spoil.
Yeah, don't. But the letters got you? Like the correspondence between the people? Between
the character and the people that she's writing stuff to. But,
listen, I think that's amazing, especially for a thriller, because I call myself a thriller person too, although Book Talk has sent me on like so many side quests. I was saying this recently in my Karen Slaughter review that I did a few weeks ago, because she hit me with a 5-star and I was like, girl, you got me. And I read the majority of her works, and for a reason, because they're good. But it's hard for me sometimes, because I do read a lot of thriller, for me to like feel like it's going to elevate or become a 5-star. Mm-hmm. But it's really hard to evoke emotion out of me, I feel like, in a thriller, like to make me like, yes. And it's crazy because these terrible things are happening to all these people in thrillers. And you think I would feel like terrible for the families. And I do. But I've also been like a true crime girl. Like, I feel like I'm just I am desensitized from that world a little bit. But the book that I read recently by Karen Slaughter, We're All Guilty Here, like it made my eyes wet like 2 or 3 times. The tears didn't fall, but I definitely got emotional, you know. I was like, okay, Karen, we're going to 5-star this one, girl. You got me in my feels. So yeah, I think that's awesome. If that did that to you in her thriller, then that definitely makes me want to read it even more.
Seriously. It's, but there's one character that she wrote a letter to and justified. And that was like, all right. Oof. Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, you should read her Good Girl's Guide to Murder. It's really, actually, dare I say, you should do the audio.
The audio. Yeah.
Because there is podcast components in that whole series. And so you get like the little like mini podcast type production in the audio, or at least do them together. It's a good series. It's like super fast, bingeable, fast paced. It's a good time.
None of this is true.
Mm-hmm. Lisa Jewell?
Yeah.
5 stars.
That? Yeah.
5 stars. Loved it. Did you do audio?
I did both.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that thing, by the end, even at the end, I'm like, I still don't know what's true. You got me, Lisa. I think that's the point. But it was so good. Same thing for Listen for the Lie, another like
I haven't
podcast.
Read that one yet, but
yeah,
that one's the book.
That one's got podcast elements also in the audio. So
can't wait.
Now you need to do both. Get them both. They're so good. Yeah, that was one of my favorites. Both of those. None of This Is True and Listen for the Lie I read in the same year, 2024, and they were my top, like in my top 5 thrillers of the year. So, what are your top thrillers? I know we're going to say Frida's. Let's hear it. What are your top 3?
Top 3. That's an unfair question, but
I know. I hate picking favorites. I hate it so much. I can't stand it when people ask me, so I love asking other people.
Top 3. Never Lie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm choosing that ahead of The Housemaid.
Okay.
The Housemaid series is like its own thing, so I can't put it in the top 3.
Okay.
Not Quite Dead Yet. And The Business Trip.
Who's The Business Trip?
Business Trip is by Jessie Garcia. It's about 2 girls who go missing. It's everybody's POV. It starts with the one of the girls who's in an abusive relationship that escapes, and then they introduce another person who's in the news media, who works as an announcer, a news person that also goes missing as well.
Interesting. I've not heard of that one.
And there's a lot of POVs by different people from their both of their lives, and then it gets crazy after that.
Interesting. I'm trying to read. I feel like my priorities are all over this year because I want to do all the things all the time, all at once. But I really feel like I didn't read enough thriller last year because I went on my book talk side quests. Although my story graph begs to differ, says I read 45, but some of the things get categorized like also as thriller, like it's like literary with thriller elements, not something that I would call like thriller, you know? So I'm trying to read more this year because I probably own more thrillers than anything else. But then also there's all these other things. I'm like, which thrillers am I going to get to? I'm going to get to Not Quite Dead Yet. I'm going to get to Best Offer Wins. Everybody says that's really good too. I just got it as a gift and I already have it on hold on Libby. So hopefully that comes like soon. It's super short. Everyone says it's unhinged. I don't know what else I'm getting to. Karen Slaughter. I'm going to try to finish what I've got going on with her. I don't know what else. I feel like I didn't read enough last year.
Noelle Ely. Such Quiet Girls.
I need to read more of her. Thank you. Because I started her last year. I read two or three of hers last year. And I really liked them. Like she hasn't done anything to make me not want to read her at all. I want to read that one. That was the one she put out last year. She's got a new one coming out this year. I just saw. I feel like I've seen a picture of. And I want to do Ask for Andrea and Run on Red because those are the ones that put her on my radar, and I still haven't read them.
Run on Red, Intense.
Yeah, she's got a new like prequel out to it that came out that I've heard was really good as well, and emotional. I've heard that one was emotional.
Forget You Saw Her.
Yeah,
is the one before.
It is the prequel. Yeah.
Andrea.
Do you follow Sydney Books? She's a really big book talker. Like I think hundreds of thousands maybe follow her. She was somebody I followed like before I was on Book Talk. Like it was one of those big accounts that got my attention because it showed up in probably more people's FYP than just the Book Talk bubble. But she is, I probably watch her more on Instagram, but her name is Sydney Books. And she and I both kind of vibe in terms of taste across the board. She reads mostly thriller, some horror, and then she branches out. Like she'll do like a lit fic or a romance here and there. But even in those, like we agree. And she read my cats are playing soccer. She read the Forget You Saw Her. Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She read Forget You Saw Her last year and was like tore up from it. She said it was amazing, like emotional. And I'm like, okay, girl, you got me. I'm in there. I want to get it. I got to get to it. I wish I could read 2 books a day and that would solve all my problems. Truthfully, I was actually talking about this on live last night with some friends. There's a girl I follow. Hi, if you see me on here, I don't talk to her, so we're not friends, but like there's a girl I follow who shares her mom's reading on her page, and her mom read over 700 books last year. And I'm like, first of all, you're my hero and an icon. Second of all, how? And I guess she did speed reading. And so then my friends and I went down like a speed reading hole last night of like, how? And one of my besties on there said that her dad used to be a speed reader, like, took the classes for it and trained himself. And apparently like you are able to, your brain can process an entire page, like look at an entire page and understand it. But you have to teach yourself to do it. So they basically just open a page and like look at it and it's like, think, like scanned and in. Goodness. I wish, like, imagine this would not be a decade-long TBR that I own.
Right.
It would be 2 years. I wish so badly.
I can't. I mean, yeah. I put my audio like between 1.5 and 1.75, and my wife listens to it. I'm like, how do you understand what they're saying? I'm like, just listen to the words. Don't listen how fast they're reading it.
Right. I mean, I feel like that with the audio speeds, I'm never going to train myself to be a speed reader. Let's be honest. But I know that just the way that my brain has changed with the audio speeds, I know that I could teach myself speed reading. I won't, but it's crazy with audio because I was a reader as a child. I did some reading in my early 20s, early adulthood, and then nothing until like 2019, 2018-ish. And I was audio, like straight up audio. Like that was my gateway. And I listened at 1 for years. I didn't realize that you could speed it up probably. And then I hovered in the 1.25 to 1.5 for years. And I would naysay every single person that said they listened at 3. I'm like, y'all don't understand anything they're saying. You're liars. It's chipmunks. Bullshit. Just no. And then I started bumping it up. Like I move in like 0.25 increments because sometimes you get that narrator who's like, come on now. No. Why are you talking backwards? No. And so I just bump them up 25 and it just sounded normal. Like it didn't sound sped up, sounded normal. And I was like, I want to say it was 6 months-ish, 7 months-ish into book talking and making friends. Like it was just kind of when I started actually making friends in the space. We did a buddy read of Lights Out, and my friend listens at like 3 and he was doing immersive. And I'm like, how? I'm going to do immersive too. So that night, because I didn't want him to beat me. Like I wanted to stay on I wanted to finish at the same time as everyone else. So I sat and did immersive. That was the first time I did immersive. And that was the first time I listened at 2. And when I had my eyes, I feel like you can speed it up more the more you do immersive, because typically you read with your eyes faster than the narrators are reading. And my eyes were getting ahead of the audio. So I just kept tweaking the audio until it matched my eyes. And you'll know when it's going faster because you're like, wait, you're trying to listen to 1 and then caught up. So you just dial it back like in increments. And I started at 2 there, and I've never gone back under 2 since that buddy read. Like now I start all the books at 2 because if I go prior to that, it sounds backwards. And so like, I think just bumping it in the 0.25 increments for a while, like not quickly, like do it for a couple months, your brain, your processing catches up to where it just doesn't sound fast anymore. I'm like, it's wild because now 2 sounds like 1 used to exactly like it. But I can understand how other people get in and are like, come on now. I'm like, okay, everybody that listens at 3, I'm so sorry. I still think you're a little bit of a liar, but I also didn't think I'd ever get to 2. And now I'm like 2 to 2.5, depending on the narrator. Yeah. It's wild.
It can't.
It's wild. Now there are people that listen at like 3.5. I ain't buying it.
No, absolutely not. So recently there's been like a lot of books made into movies, TV series, and all that fun stuff. What's your stance on it?
I love seeing an adaptation made because it helps. It does draw more people to the books when they find out it is based on a book. Now, not everybody knows that, but it does. Some people do find that out, so it brings more people to the books. I love, if it's something that I loved, then it gives me an opportunity to be in the world again, even if the adaptation's terrible. Like Twilight, the movies, not good compared to the books, but it was exciting to have to be able to make the fandom bigger and spend more time in that area. So I love that. I also love that it brings the authors more revenue. Yes, get your coin, get your roses, you deserve that. So I love it. I hate that they happen so fast that I can't read all the books before the movies come out, because now that I'm books are everything, I want to read the books before I see the adaptations, whether it's a show or a movie. And I just don't watch I don't have a lot of screen time on the big screen. Yeah. Definitely plenty of screen time here, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm into it. I haven't watched any lately. I have a roster of things that I need to watch. And I read Lessons in Chemistry before I was ever in Book Talk and loved it. And then they made an Apple show. And I want to say I watched 2 episodes and I didn't finish it. Why? I loved that book. I need to go finish that. Same thing for Dark Matter. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Haven't watched. There's a ton. And now everybody's watching His and Hers by Alice Feeney. There's a show out that just came out that everybody says is amazing.
It is insane.
Is it?
Yeah.
Did you read the book?
I didn't read the book. I didn't know it was a book.
Everybody says the show is so good. Yes, it's a book by Alice Feeney. I think I have it. I hope I have it. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I do. There's a ton of Harlan Coben shows. I've seen some of those before I was a reader and didn't realize that they were Harlan Coben shows. Those are pretty good.
I mean, I watched the last 2 episodes. My wife was watching the whole series. So I'm let me just sit here for the last 2 episodes.
Wild?
Yeah. By the end of it, my jaw was on the floor. I'm what? Hold on. I need to watch it from the beginning now.
Wait a minute. Oh, I don't have His and Hers. Hold on. Let me check the Bestie library really quick. Hold on. It's not at my house. Let's see if it's at my neighbor's house. Not that I won't get the audio real quick.
Right.
Alice Feeney. Let's see. I don't have His and Hers. Okay. New Thrift Initiative. Got it. I love it when because I have so many, and because you see the more popular things more often, it's harder. I love having something to hunt for. Mm-hmm. It gives you an objective. So now I'm looking for His and Hers. I'm on the hunt for the New York, what is it called? NYRB, the New York Review, I think is what it's called. Mm-hmm. Books. There are certain printing. My one friend who reads much more educated than I do, much more of a lit fic analyzed type reader, told me that he never finds them thrifting. And I'm say less. I will find them. So now I'm hunting those. I'm hunting a few things, but that's exciting knowing that we don't have that. I thought I did. I'm going to find it. I'm manifesting it here. I'm going to find His and Hers. And when I find it and it's on my thrift haul, I'm going to give you a shout out. That's exciting.
So do you keep your DNF books?
No.
No.
I'm telling you no, but I don't DNF. Okay. I'm for DNFing. The whole thought process behind it. Absolutely. I have 1,500 books. They're not all bangers. Right. Why I can't move through those if I force myself to read something that I'm not having a good time with. Right. So all for it. I think I DNF'd 2 books last year. One I'm sure is amazing. Everybody raves about it. It was a buddy read. I just wasn't ready to read a dense memoir about somebody I don't know. And it was a memoir that had a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? It was about a Chinese family, immigrant family, but it also has a little bit of Chinese folklore mixed into it. Mm-hmm. And so I'm I'm not in, it felt like fantasy mixed with reality. I just wasn't there. So I'm going to keep that one because I also have a signed author plate. The author sent us the goods, and they had a meeting with her on a live that I didn't make it to because I didn't finish the book. And I DNF'd another one I don't own. It was another buddy read that I got talked into, and I listened to 30%, and I was it's a no for me, fam. This is not meeting me where I need to be met right now. And I got all these other books that I desperately want to read. But if it's a book that I don't vibe with, no, I'm not keeping it. I would hope at the end, not that there ever be an end, but when my library room is completed, I want it to be a more curated collection of like things that I definitely love. And in my heart, I would love to read again, but again, with the time, like these are my favorites up here right now. And I would absolutely recommend most of them to everybody. And I would love to visit those stories again. So if there's ever a day where I'm like just needing, I guess, maybe a comfort read or something, I would grab those again. But I would like to only have books that I would want to give to other people or read again. But I have to read them all first to know that. That's where the collecting and the reading hobbies don't mesh all the time. But that's my goal. Is I've definitely unhauled quite a bit when my collection was getting a little crazy at one point in the middle of last year before I started selling books on Pango, which I also thrift books to sell that I never show on my page. I just put them on my sale site. I went through ones that I had all my red books separated. They're no longer separated. Now I have my authors together in genres. But I went through them all and I'm like, I don't even recommend this book. Like, why am I keeping it? Because it'll be like by an author I generally like, but that book just wasn't it. And I just, sent pictures to like the girls in my book club from Book Talk or my neighbor. I'm like, do you guys want any of these? And the ones they wanted, I gave to them. And the ones I didn't, I sold. Or I put them in little free libraries if the quality isn't good. Like, you don't get to take up, I pay the rent here, not you, poor book that I don't like, So yeah, I don't plan on keeping the duds unless there's some sort of sentimentality attached to that copy. I even struggle with Book Talk. It's real big on Book Talk where people send each other books all the time and they have our wish list tagged. And I struggle with like people gifting me, like people that I care deeply about, gifting me books that I ended up not loving. I'm like, oh, what do I do? Because it's like my best friend. But at the same time, my best friend wouldn't want me to keep a book that I didn't jive with. So then what do I do? I don't know. I tell all of my friends, like, if I send you a book, don't feel obligated to keep it. Keep the note. The intention was there. If it didn't work for you, it doesn't hurt my feelings if you don't keep it. But at the same time, I'm struggling with the same thing. So, yeah.
Right.
So it is what it is.
Right. So what's one book that you would never stop recommending for people to read?
Oh gosh, we got so many. The Nightingale, obviously. Most of the books that I recommend are ones that wreck me. Those are the ones that end up being 5 stars. The Nightingale. What else do we have up there? It depends on what the person reads. Like I try to tailor my recs for what the person likes. I love that. Especially if they're not people that read very frequently. I'm like, tell me what shows you like. And then I'll think of the things that I've read that kind of match your vibe. But The Nightingale, I think across the board, everybody could read it. What else? What are my 5 stars? I do love Lessons in Chemistry. That's good. Not everybody vibes with it though, but I think everybody could read that. I would not recommend A Little Life to everybody. Under the Whispering Door is a really good one by TJ Klune that I think I could recommend to everybody. And if people don't vibe with it, they're probably homophobic. But other than that, like I think everybody could vibe with it. It's cozy. I feel like it gives a lot of hope for people for the afterlife. Like it had me sobbing. I forgot about that one when we were talking about crying earlier. It's so good. So good. I don't know. I've got a couple. It depends on the day you ask me what I would say, but almost always The Nightingale. I think. Nightingale. Final answer.
All right. So what are your top reads?
Oh, you can't do that.
Actually, ones that are not on your favorites.
Right.
Others that are on your other shelves. Which ones would you?
On my other shelves. That's tough. Because this is just like mostly random mixed up. Like this is like there's Frederick Bachman, there's Abby, there's like all genres on the shelf. Ooh. What have you done to me? Okay, here is a romance favorite that is not talked about now, but I think it had a moment maybe in like COVID times, but I wasn't looking on Book Talk in COVID times, called The Idea of You by Robin Lee. It was the first book I did a review on Book Talk. And it was actually recommended to me by like an old coworker of mine. I was posting on like my personal socials, like, give me your book recs, because I was going down like the books or everything rabbit hole. And she recommended it to me. They put a movie out in like 2024, and I read it before the movie. Not a typical, like, now that I read much more romance since then, it's still not typical. I think it might be the person's only book. It's age gap where the woman is like 40 and the man is a international pop star, like British pop star, who's like 20, 21. And so like, as a 43-year-old woman, I would not be in her shoes. But after reading it, I'm like, I don't know. And it doesn't end. It might not be technically romance because of the way it ends, which I don't want to spoil anything, but it gutted me at the end as well. I was like, oh, you got me. Oh, you got me. So that's a off the beaten path romance wreck. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are like, here's your Abby Jimenez, here's your Emily Henry, for a good reason. They're amazing. I'll read all their books. But that one is like a standalone that I really enjoyed, that I didn't think I probably would, just because of the age gap. Not that I don't mind an age gap, but I feel like most of the time women feel better with it the other way, mm-hmm. where the man is older. Thriller. Ooh, okay. So do I own that one? Can I say that if I don't own it? I'm going to say Kill for Me, Kill for You, Steve Kavanaugh. Really good. There's one called Look Closer by Dave Ellis. That's really good. Mm-hmm. And I need to read more books by both of them. They both have other books, and I haven't read more books by either of them since those. But those were in like my top fives last year, the year before. What's something else that I love that's not on my favorite shelf? Trying to think. I don't read a lot of fantasy. Mm-hmm. I feel like my favorites are fantasy. Sometimes I feel like I'm such a basic person when I'm like, Fourth Wing. It's Fourth Wing though. Oh, I was going to say The Kingdom of Ash for Throne of Glass. Again, basic, but I don't read a lot of fantasy. So I have yet to dive into some of those other ones. Did I read any lit fic? I'm sure I did. It's just not in my brain right now. That's all I got right now that I can think of. I go blank when I can't see them. It's like, ooh. Ooh.
There's the Zodiac Academy that's been going around a bit, but
I don't know that I'm interested in reading it. There's so many books. It's like 22 books, something crazy like that. Mm-hmm. That's dark romance, I think, is it not? Is that fantasy? So. I don't even know what it is. Dark romantasy, maybe? I don't even know. I just know there's a million books and it's spicy at some point. I did read more horror last year, and I think that I am a horror girly. Which is funny because I stopped watching horror movies like 15 years ago. And growing up, like teen years early adults, I think everybody wants to be a little bit of like a rebel. Like, oh yeah, I love going to scary movies. I love all that. And me and like my high school boyfriend that I dated to my mid 20s, that was like our jam. Like, well, let's go watch all the scary stuff. And I would watch, Discovery Channel, like A Haunting, like live, like people's retellings and all that stuff. I ate it up. And let me tell you, it messed me up. Like I would have sleep paralysis all the time. No. I'm like, why would I keep intaking all of this when it's living in my subconscious and then I'm paying for it later? So I stopped taking in all that media. And so I kind of was scared to watch or to read horror books. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because I love true crime and I love thrillers. Like being messed up humans doesn't bother me. But I think I've come to terms with, I think it's the paranormal elements of horror that I don't like, which to be horror, you don't have to be paranormal. There's plenty of different types of horror. So like psychological horror, into it, love it. And so again, like there's no visual intake. I think that affects me because I'm painting the picture the way I want it to be seen in my head while I'm reading it. And a lot of times horror tackles deeper themes. Mm-hmm. I mean, most books do, but people I think associate horror with it's supposed to be like a jump scare. And like, you're not going to get a jump scare in a book. You can't be jump scared reading words. You could be shocked, yeah. It could be dreadful. It could be dreary. But then a lot of times what the horror is circling around is like things that we are afraid of, psychologically in terms of like grief and like loss and stuff like that. Like it's much deeper than just boo, you know?
Right.
And I read a few last year. I had spooky season, and the most books I read in any month was during September and October. I read 20 books in October, 20 or 22. Before that, it was like 15 or 16. It was like the most I've ever read in a book. Like I was eating them up. So I am looking forward to reading a lot more horror this year to see, like, is that going to be one of my predominantly favorite genres? Because I think it is. It's got a little adventure in it. It's got a little, you know, it's a little bit of everything. I'm into it.
If you haven't read The September House,
I've heard it's so good.
It's really good. I highly recommend it.
I don't have it, I don't think. I am going to read in February, The Reformatory. Have you read that?
I have it. I've started it on audio. I'm a little bit... Just the writing of it is very uncomfortable.
Got you.
Yeah.
I've heard it's very good, and I've heard it's more historical fiction than horror. I think the horror element are the haints in it. Mm-hmm. I'm from the South, so I'm familiar with haints. I mean, my front porch ceiling is haint blue painted. So I'm familiar. Like, I don't feel like that's going to be scary for me, but I've heard it's very good in terms of historical fiction. So I'm approaching it more as a historical fiction. I don't know why that makes me think of The September House. I think just because the colors of the books are similar and they both have houses on the front.
Yep.
But yeah, I've heard September House is very good as well. I don't think I have it, so I'm looking for that one. I'm looking forward to reading some Nat Cassidy's this year. Everybody says Nat Cassidy books are very good. I've got 2 for my birthday, so those will be the ones I start with. I'm trying to think of my favorite horror last year. Misery was one of them. I read 2 Grady Hendrix books. He gets like really back and forth reviews, but after reading the 2 that I read, I think it was 2. After reading the 2 that I read, I've come to terms with the fact that he's very unserious. And so like, I know how to approach, like, he's kind of like a little campy in his books. Super unserious, but not scary whatsoever. The first one I read was called Horror Store. Didn't love it. Thought it was like a little too jokey. Mm-hmm. But I loved the aesthetics of it. Because they made it like a IKEA catalog is how the book is printed, kind of. And it's like a knockoff IKEA store that everything happens in. And then I read The Exorcism of My Best Friend, or My Best Friend's Exorcism, that I was wary because of the paranormal element. Like, I don't know if this is for me, because demonic stuff is like where I really like, ooh.
Yeah, no.
It's not for us. Not pet of me, no. But I wanted to read it because it was set here, where I'm from. And I was like, and Grady Hendrix apparently grew up here, so it makes sense now. But it was not scary at all. The possession portion, like, it was very like 80s movie campy, kind of silly. And it was about 2 teenage girls. I'm a teenage girl, so I can relate to the character. I'm not a teenage girl, but I've been a teenage girl. I can relate to the characters.
Yeah.
And then the name dropping, I feel like he name dropped locations more than an author normally would, like saying what street they're at a red light. Unnecessary on the way to their beach. But for me personally, because I live in the area, like, I was like clocking all the places, loved that. And the story ended up being more about like 2 best friends that like their friendship could conquer anything type deal. And it was less about the gross possession stuff that was happening. And even like the exorcism portion was very unserious to a degree. So loved that. That was a surprising horror find. Recommend if you want some unserious kind of funny horror about teenage girls.
They made a movie. I think it's on Prime.
Yeah, I did the Misery, watched it. I read Misery and that book in the same week. And I was like, I'm going to do both of the films. And I watched like the first 15 minutes of it, and I was like, nope, can't do it. I can't do it because it's so different from the book. Mm-hmm. And I think also knowing that the book was here, and immediately, like, as an aerial shot of a town that's not here. Right. I was like, oh no, this is not Charleston. Like, this at all. This looks like Pennsylvania or something. Like, I can't do it. So I was like, nope, I'm just gonna have to live with the book of that one. But yeah, I think I'm a horror girl. I'm excited to see where that goes for this year. I'm hoping to read. I didn't set a number goal this year. Mm-hmm. I don't want to put pressure on myself to achieve a number goal, but I'm hoping to read way more than I read the last few years, just so that I can be exposed to more of the story, so I can move through more of the TBR. That's the only reason I want to read an absolute ton. Because that makes me sad to know that I have to wait to like get to them. Like, oh, what's in that cover?
Bang them out one after another.
Right? That's the dream.
All right. Well, it's been fun. Thank you for joining. And
thank you. The first podcast. Thanks for the invite.
Right. So if you want people to follow you, just put out your socials, where they could find you. I
am at TikTok mostly. I do have Instagram only because of the big TikTok scare of 2025. I am Jenni's Thrifty Reads on TikTok and Instagram. But if you find me on one, there's a link tree on both of them that take you to all the places you can see me obsess over books. And sometimes obsess over, my friends that I meet through books and traveling, but mostly books.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you for joining. It's been fun.
Thanks for the invite.
Definitely.
Thanks for letting me yap.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hopefully we can do this again another time. Man. See where you're at in your TBR.
Let me know. Awesome.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Thank you.